Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Tiranno, and today I'm going to be introducing a new weekly segment called Top 5 Tuesdays. So for the first week, I've decided to name my top 5 favorite Johnny Depp performances. The reason why I've chose that, because this Friday in the theaters near you comes the new film Black Mass, directed by Scott Cooper, in which Johnny Depp plays Irish crime boss James Whitey Bulger, a movie where Johnny Depp stars alongside Joel Edgerton, Benedict Cumberbatch, Kevin Bacon, Dakota Johnson, and much, much more. A movie that I'm highly anticipating and will have a review for on Friday. Before I get started, though, I just quickly want to say, if you missed my video yesterday, make sure to go check it out on our YouTube page. I went in depth talk about the movie news from yesterday, which include Guardians of the Galaxy 2 starting pre-production in Atlanta, where James Gunn's going to be living for the next 10 months, along with Disney's idea for a new Mary Poppins movie. Make sure to never miss a video that we upload here every single day by hitting that subscribe button just right down there. And in case you're interested in watching that video where I also talk about the box office report, you can click right here. Love this. Anyway, back to the list. But before I start going through and naming my top 5 favorite Johnny Depp performances, I just want to quickly talk about my thoughts on Johnny Depp in general. Now, if you've been a fan and reader and viewer of Chasing Cinema for a long time, you would know that I've kind of not been the biggest Johnny Depp fan as of late. As much as Johnny Depp is a huge pop icon, people love him, especially the ladies. My girlfriend would just fall at his feet. Johnny Depp is an actor who I thought can really deliver beautiful, touching, powerful performances, but as of late kind of pushed that all to the side to just play characters that dress in weird costumes and wear strange makeup. Now, before you freak out on me, I want you to hear me out. I'm not saying Johnny Depp hasn't made a great movie in a very, very long time. I'm just saying Johnny Depp hasn't hit me with a performance that's very memorable. I think I did kind of enjoy him in Tusk, where he played Guy Lapointe, a little fun role for him, and probably one of the lower opening pictures he's ever been a part of. No shame to Kevin Smith. I am a huge fan, and I love Tusk. But beyond that, Johnny Depp was kind of in this reoccurring deal where he wanted to just be in funny costumes and in strange makeup, which, if he wants to do that, which makes him a lot of money, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I'm not going to say he did great performances just because he looked weird. I have people ask me all the time, well, what about Johnny Depp? He plays such those weird roles. Well, Johnny Depp has played those weird roles so much that it's become ordinary and nothing special. Now, granted, Johnny Depp appeared in Transcendence, which was a disaster of a movie. But before that, we have Alice in Wonderland, we have Willy Wonka and Charlie Factory. Well, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was actually quite a while ago. But nonetheless, you get my point. He was just not bringing anything superior to the game. That's why I'm hoping that Johnny Depp really returns to form in this upcoming film from Scott Cooper, Black Mass. But we're just going to have to wait to find out. Make sure to tune into my review this Friday on this channel. Hit that subscribe button, and you will not miss it. I promise you that. But let's get into that list with number 5. Number 5. Edward Scissorhands in Edward Scissorhands. That's right, I'm talking about the first film in which Johnny Depp collaborated with Tim Burton, which would end up being one of the best collaborations that we have to date. Edward Scissorhands is a film that truly spoke about the magic that Tim Burton could create, though I feel like has struggled to recreate in recent time, as well as Johnny Depp. Now, Edward Scissorhands tells the story of a creation named Edward who, instead of fingers, had scissors for his hands. This movie I chose to put on this list because it's not only one of the first breakout roles for Mr. Johnny Depp, but it also really showed how great Johnny Depp can deliver a performance by simply using gestures in his eyes, because though he does talk in this movie, he does not talk much and he does not talk strong. It is the simple gestures and looks that Johnny Depp gives to Winona Ryder that truly makes this movie somewhat magical and touching. This is obviously, like I said, one of the softest roles Johnny Depp have ever performed, but honestly one of his best. Number 4 on my list is Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. This 2003 film, directed by Gore Verbinski, tells the story of a blacksmith named Will Turner who teams up with Captain Jack Sparrow to save the love of his life. life. I don't have to talk much about Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, because it was the birth of one of the most popular movie characters of our time. Johnny Depp was meant to play this role, literally born to play Captain Jack Sparrow, the iconic character that he is. Funny, odd, witty, and as he would like to call, savvy. Easily one of the most memorable characters, and probably the character that Johnny Depp will be remembered playing forever and ever. I mean, it's no surprise that he earned an Academy Award nomination for his role in this movie. Not many actors can capture a role so perfectly that they actually bring that character to life. People see Johnny Depp and Captain Jack Sparrow as two different people. They talk about Captain Jack as if he was a real person. Not to mention all the people who are inspired and love Captain Jack, such as the kids in the hospital in which Johnny Depp goes to visit, which is really, really beautiful. The sad thing about this movie is that unfortunately it spawned 3 sequels and a new one on its way, and none of them have been that good. This is the only Pirates of the Caribbean movie that I've enjoyed, and I think the best performance from Johnny Depp. In the number 3 spot, we have Donnie Brasco in Donnie Brasco. The 1997 picture was directed by Mike Newell and told the story of an undercover FBI agent who has to go into the world of the Italian mafia, and he befriends an Italian mobster played by Al Pacino. Now, Donnie Brasco is a movie that I feel like is not talked about nearly as much as it should be, as Johnny Depp really shows his range. We've seen him in the odd Edward Scissorhands film now. We've seen him play more of the stranger characters, but now we look back at Donnie Brasco, which really shows that Johnny Depp could play a frontman, and not only play a frontman, but play a frontman opposite of one of the greatest actors of our time, Al Pacino. The struggle that he goes through makes this an incredible journey and well worth the watch. Not to mention the chemistry that these two superstars share is unforgettable. And in the number 2 spot, we have George Young in Blow, a movie that I feel never gets enough credit as it deserves. This movie truly showed just how captivating a performance Johnny Depp could give, as he tells the true life story of George Young, a man who pretty much built the American cocaine market in the 1970s. Watching Johnny Depp's rise and fall really is what makes this movie special. Watching him kind of live this lavish lifestyle, be on top of the world, and then see things kind of just slip through his fingers and lose one thing at a time is what makes this tragic story really beautiful. Not many actors can make audiences sympathize with a hardened criminal who's worked with Pablo Escobar himself, but Johnny Depp truly knocks it out of this park in this highly underrated picture. Before I gain my number 1 spot, I just want to quickly go back down the list. Number 5, we have Edward Scissorhands in Edward Scissorhands. Number 4, we have Captain Jack in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. In number 3, we have Donnie Brasco in Donnie Brasco. In number 2, we have George Young in Blow. And now it is time for my number 1 pick. And finally, in the number 1 spot, Ed Wood in Ed Wood. This 1994 picture, which is a collaboration between director Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, tells a story about the troubled movie director who would go on to make some of the worst films ever made. I chose Ed Wood because not only is this movie about imagination, passion, and creativity, but it is also a movie that helped the actual actor Johnny Depp find his love for acting once again, and would eventually inspire him to go on to make many more great films. Now, this is not only my favorite Johnny Depp movie, but my favorite Tim Burton movie. So this movie in total is just a great picture. It's a movie that I absolutely love. Seeing the passion and quirkiness from Johnny Depp is not only funny, but moving. Despite what everyone said, and everyone who wanted to throw his work away and say he couldn't do it, Ed Wood rose above that and made the movies that he wanted to make. Fast, quick, and maybe not as great as we would have hoped to be, but that passion and drive made him do so, and it's that performance and those messages that make this movie. And that's why Ed Wood is my number 1 on my top 5 favorite Johnny Depp performances. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for my top 5 favorite Johnny Depp performances. If you've not seen any of them, please make sure to take it out some time and go check these movies out. Also, I want want to hear what your favorite Johnny Depp performances are. If you agree or disagree, let's have that conversation down here in the comment sections below. I can't wait. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as I'm going to be talking about some more movie news, including the Jungle Book trailer. So don't forget and make sure to tune in. The easiest way to do that is to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. My name is Jacob Tiranno, and please continue chasing cinema. Now, just in case anyone was wondering, there were some honorable mentions, including 2 films that Johnny Depp was nominated for an Academy Award for, including Finding Neverland and Sweeney Todd, both solid pictures, but just could not make it out on my list. I also cannot forget What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and a movie that I find truly, truly awesome, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but unfortunately they do not make my top 5. But thank you for watching this list today.